people. Super excited about this topic. I'm going to be talking about this series. I'm so excited about this series. It's about prioritizing faith, right? Y'all, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. So happy Monday, everyone. Before I jump into this powerful topic, I just want to give a congratulations and shout out to Coach Staley, the USC Girls Championship winners. Congratulations to you guys for a job well done of her coaching and just coming to turn that South Carolina team around. It's just amazing. So let's jump into this topic. I want to just thank everybody for taking the time out to join, to listen in to this topic tonight on prioritize faith. You guys will be so blessed about. Oh, I'm just excited about this topic. Since this dropped in my spirit on last week about this topic, it's just been life changing. I should say life changing, right? And I'm just excited to share with you guys. So let's jump into it. We're right. How faith evicts fear. Like, y'all, listen at that. Faith, use your faith to evict fear out your life. Let me tell you why. We should only fear God Himself, right? We should only fear God Himself. But we shouldn't allow excruciating fear to come into our life to paralyze us from actually exalting ourselves to fulfill purpose. That dream, that goal, that business, right? We shouldn't allow tormenting fear to come into our space to be so fearful of not launching out into the deep, not using our mustard seed faith to make sure we pave the way so that faith can expand in our life, that capacity of that mustard seed faith to do what it comes to do, right? Come do the impossible. Sometimes we can have so much tormenting fear to the point where it will stagnate us. It will have us in a paralysis mindset. It will have us in a standstill immobility. Like we can't move to go to that next step. We can't move to say yes to our purpose. We can't say yes to the vision. We can't say yes to the goal. We can't say yes to the book. We can't say yes to that movie we have to write. We can't say yes to that team we have to build. We can't say yes because the tormenting fear have us in literally a suffocating mindset. I wanted to say something else, but that's what came out. So, tormenting fear should not be that entity that comes to swallow us whole, and the grip is so tight on us to the point where it literally takes our breath. It literally suffocates us. It suffocates our greatness. It suffocates the value in our life. It suffocates the worth in our life. It suffocates the greatness in our life. It have us in that tormenting space where we cannot move to do anything. We can't be successful in the areas we need to be successful in. We can't be effective in the areas that we need to be effective in. We have to allow faith to evict fear so we can be free to do the very thing that God called us to do. If it's 6 figures on your goal sheet to make this year, guess what? We should allow the belief level to increase. We should allow our faith to evict fear so it don't literally suffocate our work ethic. It literally don't suffocate our belief level. That it literally don't suffocate the very ideas and wisdom and knowledge and understanding we need to apply in our mental state of mind to make sure that we get set free to be able to do the very things that the fear trying to suffocate out of us, or suffocate to hold us in that stagnant place, to hold us in that paralysis place, to hold us in that very stuck mode place, that tormenting fear, right? That tormenting fear would literally cause us to be stagnant, even in growth. Let that sink in for a minute. Because literally, if we're not growing, we die in the areas that we need to live in, if you will. So, said all that to say this: we cannot allow tormenting fear to stagnate the very growth we need in this next season to make sure that we be effective in every area of our life, to be effective even in our mindset, to be effective even in the very call and the very thing we're supposed to be doing in this season. Whether it's with your team, run the play, right? Whether it's with the book you're supposed to be finished in 30 days, whether it's that goal in your business that you got to reach, that you got to put the work in. We don't want the tormenting fear to stagnate our work ethic, right? And again, we cannot allow the tormenting fear to hold us hostage in a place when we know we need to be moving. We know at this time we don't need to be in a standstill. We know that this is a time now that we gotta do it. That we allow our faith to evict the fear so that we can be effective, so we can be successful, so we can be moving at a rate of speed in our business, in our call, in our ministry, in our whatever that thing is you're supposed to be doing. Even if it's the consistency you're supposed to be doing, God may have you supposed to be putting out content. And don't be like me, sit on it for 3 years, being delayed disobedient, not putting out content to empower the people that God entrusted me with on every platform that He entrusted me with. I'm holding back content that can bless your life. I'm holding back content that can free you. Because why? Our voice matters. There can be a very thing that I'm supposed to say, and then the nation of people that's assigned to me supposed to respond to the very prioritizing faith word that I'm supposed to say and speak consistently, and then don't do it. You may have been looking for an answer. You may have been looking for a word of empowerment to get you out of paralysis, to get you out of stuck mode, to make sure that it put fire under your foot to move in the very call that God say do. If he said put out content to empower the people, then put out content. Be consistent. Don't allow that tormenting fear to hold you back from launching the business, from holding you back from writing the book, to hold you back from writing the movie, to hold you back from producing the movie, to hold you back from launching that business, launching that ministry, launching that nonprofit organization, to hold you back from doing the very thing that God called you to do, that liberates your purpose, that literally ignites your purpose, that literally ignites your greatness. Don't allow the torments and fear to put that kind of grip hold on you and control you not to do the very thing that you're supposed to be doing, not to be effective. We have to make sure that we use our faith to evict the fear. This is what part one is about. Using your faith to evict fear. Even if it's the size of a mustard seed faith. Faith is faith. God gives us all a measure of faith to use, to apply to our life, every area of our life, so that purpose can be fulfilled. We cannot no longer in this season allow the tormenting fear to keep us in paralysis, to keep us in stuck mode, to keep us in a lack of growth, causing us not to grow, causing us not to grow leaps and bounds in certain areas we know we need. Don't allow the torment and fear to block your power. We have power. We cannot allow the tormenting fear to stagnate our power. We cannot allow the tormenting fear to block the power that God put on the inside of us. We just can't. Hi, Sis Corner. Thanks for joining. So, and again, I ain't mean to scream at y'all. But I'm so passionate about this particular series. Prioritize faith is so key and important. And you're going to see, like, when you begin to be intentional about prioritizing faith, you're going to, I'm going to just say this. I'm just so excited about the results you will experience, the wins that you will experience. Not the WINDS, but the WINS wins, because you decided to be intentional about prioritizing your faith. Y'all, like, I'm so, like, when God dropped this in my spirit, like, I can run around this building right now. Like, y'all, when I tell you the success you're going to have, when I tell you the rewards you're going to reap, when I tell you about, when you decide to be intentional and prioritize your faith, I'm telling you, oh, I'm so excited to hear your testimony. Please come back and drop in this chat right here. Please drop in the chat. Share your testimony. Because I know, look, I'm sorry. Okay, let me calm down. Calm down, Faith. Take a deep breath. Like, I'm so excited because when I started, when I was just, I heard when the Spirit of the Lord dropped this in this topic in me. Prioritize faith. Be intentional about prioritizing faith. There's so many rewards and wins behind it. WINS now. Behind it, that even if you try to hold yourself back, the call is so great on your life. Like, God is not even going to let you hold yourself back. Like, in other words, faith's going to show up for you even when you don't show up for yourself. Like, I just can't wait to hear y'all testimony. Like, y'all are going to be blown away when you begin to be intentional about prioritizing your faith. Prioritize faith part 1. This is about evicting your fear by using your faith to do it. Use your faith to evict fear. Right? So that's the key word in that. 2 keywords. Let me go back. 2 keywords. Being intentional about prioritizing your faith. Your focus, prioritize faith. The subtopic to this is one of the first things you're going to do is uproot the seed. Not water it with your negative thoughts, not water it with your negative talk, not water it with your doubts, not water it with your unbelief, none of that. We talking about being intentional about your faith, being intentional by prioritizing your faith. Prioritize faith part 1, evict fear with your faith. I'm just saying. Like, when I tell you that you're going to experience Ephesians 3:20 at a magnitude of dimensional greatness in your life. What you known for that was invisible in your life going to be visible in your life. The very thing that you was believing God for is going to happen even at a greater rate of speed. Because that very thing that took you 3 years going to only take you 3 weeks. That thing that takes you 3 weeks going to only take you 3 days. Understand me? So, and again, prioritize faith. Allow your faith, I can't stress it enough. It's so important. Allow your faith to evict every tormenting fear. Because why? Like we said earlier, the only fear you should have is the fear of the Lord, your creator, the Lord thy God. That's the only one we should be fearing. But the tormenting fear that was not sent by or to be lived by God, that's what you call an invasion in our life. That's what you call a uninvited invasion. Like, who invited, like, okay, tormenting fear. Who invited you? Who invited you here? Who sent you? Address it. Address it and make sure that you understand the power you hold. You have a power over that fear principality that you can put on skates. Yeah, you can. You got that authority. Like, nah, you gotta go. Cause you're not gonna be here invading. Who invited you? No. We're not doing that in this season. We're gonna use positive faith to evict the fear. That's what we're going to do. Because we don't want to use tormenting fear to feed the torment. We don't want our positive faith to feed the negative faith that feeds the power that gives the negative tormenting fear more power in our life. No, we're cutting it off from the root, meaning we're going to be intentional about applying and prioritizing positive faith, and we're going to prioritize our faith intentionally that we can break up that folly ground when it comes to that tormenting fear. We can't allow that type of fear to stay in this season of our life. Right? And again, you gotta drop it in the chat. Say it with me. I am positive faith. I am the powerful being to prioritize my faith and be intentional about it so that the power that's on the inside of me can ignite. If we don't be intentional about prioritizing our faith, don't you know that we give power to the tormenting fear? We give power to the root of tormenting fear. That's literally like watering it and telling it, "Oh, you can come in. Oh, you can come in at any given moment. You can come in." No, we can't continue to allow that tormenting fear to stay and give power to the root of that. We can't do it. We can't afford to. Matter of fact, we can't afford to in this season. We can't. Like, we can't afford to allow that to block the blessing that God needs to give us in this harvest season. Like, there's a harvest season going on. Meaning that, you know, seeds we may have planted years ago. Every time my grandparents ever formed and planted certain seeds, certain harvests wouldn't come up to 2 seasons later. Meaning they could have had planted an item, a seed in the summer, but it's not gonna come up into the fall. That full harvest won't come until the fall. So we have some seeds that we have planted with our positive faith, that is, that we need to water. We need to be intentional. We need to be making faith a priority to water these seeds, that our harvest come full-fledged to us visibly, tangibly in this harvest season that God has promised us. I'm just saying. So, allow your positive faith, be intentional, and allow your faith to evict the fear, the tormenting fear that is, in our lives that come to hold us hostage, that come to suffocate our greatness, that come to suffocate our success, that comes to suffocate our worth, that comes to suffocate the very power that God put on the inside of us to win in this season. Put this principle in action. I promise you, your life will be forever changed. Even when I started it, prioritize faith. Even when I started this a week ago, I'm telling you, I have seen rewards. I have seen wins already that I definitely will be sharing and posting here soon. I just don't want to do it prematurely. But it's happening. Like, that's what I'm so excited about. This series, part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4, prioritize faith. We got to do it, guys. From this day forward, don't allow anybody or anything, not even you, not even your negative subconscious mind of thoughts even come against the very thing that God told us to use. Faith of the size of a mustard seed, that can move mountains in our life. Be intentional about prioritizing your faith and allowing that faith to evict the fear in your life so you can win in every area of your life. Type it in the chat. Faith wins. Not me personally, but yeah, I'm going to win too, but you know, my name is Faith, so. FAITH and write your name in parentheses and stand on it. Love yourself and go be great. Prioritize faith, part 1. See you in part 2. Go be great. Thank you guys for joining.